Hey,
Kelvin, I know you've kind of talked about the development aspect and what these guys have kind of been doing after games, and we're really working on their crafts. But when you look at specifically the last 6 games or so, all that work seems to be coming into play with your coaching staff and the after game work on how you guys have played offensively.
well, they're not working on their threes after. They're shooting same. The work where they're getting better is what Coach Quanis is doing with them before and after practice, not after games. So it's not carried away with the after game stuff. I seriously doubt they're breaking a sweat.
Right.
But I do think that tells you about their commitment to getting better. You know, our program's all about player development. You know, everybody recruits, everybody develops players, teams. We all have same opportunities. I like the fact that we're starting these games off really defending. I thought our defense and our rebounding was really, really good the first 20 minutes to hold a team to 21 points in their gym. It's not easy to do, especially when you turn the ball over 8 times. So took care of the ball better in the second half. We made our open shots. You know, Justin Gorham continues to be our identity. You know, his toughness is a factor. Bryson probably fumbled, you know, 2 or 3 baskets away, or our assist totals would be better. But you know, just kind of a solid game. You know, I don't really try to over-evaluate this stuff for this or that. But we know internally the things that we have to do and get better. I took enough out of this game that we can go to practice next week and focus on 2 or 3 areas that we need to get better in. And I expect to see some results of those things on Thursday night in New Orleans against Tulane.
All right. Thank you, Joseph. We'll go to Mark Berman. Mark, go ahead, please.
Hey, Kelvin, I saw you said on CBS, you kind of looked at it as just a workmanlike performance, that you didn't do anything special necessarily. But what about the fact, isn't it a little special the way you're jumping on people early and not letting them make runs at you and taking control of the game and keeping it that way?
Yeah. You know, one of the hallmarks of our program, Mark, has been our ability to come up with loose balls. You know, we were great with loose balls today. We turned those loose balls into our possession. Don't always score off of them, but they become our possession. You know, we take pride in getting loose balls. We take pride in getting offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, long rebounds, things that can keep the other team from going on a run are things that we try to focus on. Our guys are improving in so many different areas, but now for us, it's just to stay with it. You know, it's kind of insulting if somebody says, well, you guys don't want to overlook somebody. I've never overlooked the team in 32 years, and I'm not about to start now. It's not about the other team sometimes. It's about us getting better. If you focus on getting better, you don't worry about stuff that people have never coached before would think about.
All right. We'll go to Dan Gelston. Dan, go ahead with your question, please.
Thank you. Obviously, there's an air of uncertainty around this whole season, but do you feel at this point that you guys are doing enough and have done enough to start thinking about #1 seeds in the NCAA tournament, maybe how deep the potential of this team really is?
No, we haven't done enough. I don't know. I've had teams that was #1 seed before. Might have had 2, but I don't think that's ever been in my mindset. You know, I didn't like the way we offensive rebounded it tonight from certain guys. I'm gonna get on them in practice Monday. I tend to worry about things I can control. You know, if we get better in the areas that we need to be good at, all that stuff takes care of itself. I'm not. When I get to the office Monday, we've got to reschedule like 2 or 3 games. I was so appreciative that Aaron and I could come to an agreement to play this game today, because if we couldn't, that'd have been another game we have to reschedule somewhere down the line. But Now we've got another road game under our belt, but we still need to reschedule Cincinnati, and we still need to reschedule South Florida. So those are the things I'm worried about. The other stuff is you guys can write and talk about all you want, but for me, that's not my deal.
Yep. We'll go back to Mark Berman. Please, Mark, go ahead.
Kelvin, if you don't mind, since nobody else has their hands up, well, I see Chris. Chris, if you have a question for this game, well, I need to ask him something off topic. If you need to ask him something, please do, Chris.
I'll go ahead, Scoop. This fine. My question can wait.
Okay. Kelvin, we're building material for Monday and Tuesday because it's be 1 year Tuesday since Kobe died. Can we get some thoughts from you about that and the fact it's been a year since that tragedy happened?
Yeah, he was the generational player that the kids love to follow because he played their game. You know, everybody wants to play like Kobe. You know, nobody wants to play like John Stockton or Karl Malone or Tim Duncan or Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. They want to be Kobe. You know, he's flashy. He was articulate. He was good looking. Had the beautiful wife, beautiful family. He was the American dream. He had it all. And he was a warrior. You know, he was a good role model for guys that wanted to work on their games. The way he stayed on his teammates and he was the I'm not, you know, he was not Michael. He's not as good a player as Michael, but Michael was his generation's player. Kobe was his generation's player. You know, LeBron will be his generation's player, and there'll be somebody after LeBron and somebody after that guy. But for this generation, it was Kobe. I still remember how blank our kids were when word started sweeping around the gym that day. We were playing at home when we got the word that Kobe had died in a helicopter crash, and you might as well have called the game. I don't remember who we were playing, but I'm sure both teams had the same reaction. But I coached against Kobe for 6 years. I don't ever remember him not trying to put a knife in your heart. He was a killer. He was, and I'm glad that people are remembering him, because there'll be a generation that comes that won't know who he is. You know, but I think we need to keep Bill Russell and Oscar Robertson, all the great players. You know, they're all going to pass. You know, my boyhood, one of my boyhood heroes just passed away, Hank Aaron. You know, Willie Mays is probably is coming up. You know, I was a big Atlanta Brave fan. Don Sutton, Phil Negro, Joe Morgan was one of my favorites. Kobe. We all lose our heroes. You know, but we take it hard because they were our heroes. They remind us of our childhood. They remind us of our younger days, and when life had no stress and life was different. You know, and that's what Kobe will always be. Kobe Bean. He'll always be 38, 40 years old. He'll never grow old to people, and that's a good thing.
Chris, go ahead if you have a question, please.
But you touched on it just a little bit there. I was going to ask you about Hank Aaron passing. But back to the basketball, do you believe there's a chance that you won't get all 20 conference games in this year?
Chance?
A chance, yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to require sacrifice. You have to help someone. You know, we were talking, I was working on scheduling this morning before the game. You know, there's a team that wants to move up a day so they can add another game, or back a day so they can average another game. And I don't mind doing it as long as it doesn't just, you know, put us in a tough spot. It's not that I don't want to help someone, but my first responsibility is look after my program. But everybody's in this situation. I think Wednesday night when we played Tulsa, I don't think anybody else from our league played, if I'm not mistaken, but might have been five games scheduled. So that's 8 teams that now have to grab a calendar and get on the phone and reschedule. So There's a good chance that that's going to happen. But you know, everybody's bye week doesn't match. So what it's going to come down to is what can you add during your bye week, and then what are you willing to do during the conference tournament week? You know, if you don't get a bye, you're going to start on Thursday. But do you want to add a game Monday? Let's say your last game's on Saturday. Do you want to play Tuesday and then play Thursday? You may have to get them in. If you don't start till Thursday, you probably could play Monday or Tuesday, because that would give you Wednesday, Thursday. But then you got to think, what if you're one of the fortunate ones that might be able to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Do you really want to add a game Monday or Tuesday when you possibly could be playing 3 consecutive days? So there's a lot of scenarios that are playing out with these coaches and coaching staffs, and what ifs and why fors and how many's is unprecedented. But again, no complaints. It is what it is, and we all have to make adjustments. And just the hand we dealt, we'll do the best we can with it.
I got time for one more question here, guys. We'll go to Joseph Duarte. Joseph, go ahead.
Kelvin, I just wanted to run by you. I know it's about 4 or 5 days from now, but with Tulane, have you been given any early indication with their protocols and what they had to do this past game, if they're going to be able to play Thursday, or is that one as of now still on?
I have somebody's checking on that right now, and I know they have information, but I haven't asked them about it. My focus was all Temple.
Okay, so that's something maybe by Monday we should know.
Yeah, I'll know more. It's just if they plan on practicing Monday, then there's a good chance we can play.
Okay.
It depends on when are they planning on going back to practice. If they don't practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then obviously we probably won't play, but we won't know that probably till today or tomorrow, Monday at the latest.
Okay.